So in this lesson, what we're given is we're given our triangle with S as the hypotenuse, with X as the adjacent side to theta, and Y as the opposite side to theta. See, it's on the other side. And what we're told is we're told what one of the side lengths is. So here Y is equal to 30, and we're told that sine of theta is equal to 6 over 11. Okay. And what you're supposed to do in this case is you identify, we start with what is, sine. What is the relationship of sine? Well, sine of theta is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. Now we want to convert that into letters. Well, the opposite side is y, and the hypotenuse side is s. So what we're really saying here is that this sine is equal to y over s. And then what we do is we put what sine is equal to, which is 6 over 11. 6 over 11. Then what we do is we replace the information we know. We know that y is equal to 30, so we're going to replace y with the number 30. So what we're going to do is we're going to have 30 over s is equal to 6 over 11. And now we have enough information we can solve for s. And now what we're going to do is we are going to do what's called cross multiplication. We're going to multiply the s times the 6. We're crossing over. We're going from denominator to numerator, crossing over the equal sign. So we're going to multiply s times 6, which is 6s. Then we're going to multiply 30 times 11. Okay, and to do that, we're going to go to our calculator. 30 times 11 times 11, and that equals 330. Okay, so 6s is equal to 330. Okay, now to solve for this, we're just going to divide by 6 on both sides. Going to cancel out the 6, and we're going to do 330 divided by 6. And that gives us 55. And so that means that s is equal to 55. Okay, so y is 30 and s is 55. So we're going to put a 55 here. Okay, so I'll put that equals 55. Now that we know what s is and we know what y is, we can now use the Pythagorean theorem to find x. So x is going to be equal to the square root of s squared minus y squared, okay, which is going to be equal to the square root of 55 squared minus 30 squared. Well, let's find what 55 squared minus 30 squared is. 55 squared minus 30 squared is 2125. And I wonder if that's a perfect square. 2125. It's not. So it's just the square root of 2125. Square root of 2125. Okay. But we did find the square root, which is 46.097. Okay. 46.097. Okay. And that's how we identify the other two sides when we're given one side and we're given a trigonometric function. Okay, now we're given a situation where we're told one of the trigonometric functions, in this case it's tangent, but what I'm going to show you works just as well with if this says sine or if this says cosine, okay? And we want to find the other two trigonometric functions, okay? So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to figure out, well, what is tangent? Well, we know that tangent of theta is equal to opposite over adjacent. Okay, that's our ratio. And what letter is opposite? Well, here's theta. Opposite is y, so we're going to put a y here. Over adjacent is x. So x. So tangent is the same thing as y over x. Okay, so this 3 is like a y, so we can say that y is 3. And this 5 is like an x. Okay, so we can say that x is equal to 5. So if y was 3 and x was equal to 5, we could then find s. And we're going to need s because sine of theta is opposite over hypotenuse, which is the same thing as y over s. Now we already know what y is. Y is 3. But we need to know what s is. So the sine is going to be 3 over some number is going to go right here. Okay? And then for cosine of theta, we know that cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Okay? And that is, adjacent is the x side. That's x over s. Well, we know what x is. Look, x is the denominator of tangent, which is 5. Okay, x is 5. And so we know that this is going to be 5 over s. So we need to know what number goes here. So once we find s, once we find this, we're just going to put that number here, and we're going to put it here, and we're going to have our answers. Okay, so let's find s. We're going to do the Pythagorean theorem, and we know that s is equal to the square root of x squared plus y squared. So x is 5, so this is going to be the square root of 5 squared plus, and y is 3, plus 3 squared. Well, 5 squared is 25, and 3 squared is 9. So this is going to be the same thing as the square root of 25 plus 9, which is the square root of 34. Okay, so we know that s is equal to the square root of 34. So we can just put the square root of 34 here and the square root of 34 here. But now we need to put this in the calculator. Okay, so we're going to do 3 divided by the square root of 34. Here it is. Okay, so 3 divided by the square root of 34. And that's going to be 0.514. Okay, so sine is going to be 0.514, and then cosine is 5 divided by the square root of 34. So now we're going to do 5 divided by the square root of 34, and that gives us 0.857. And so cosine is 0.857. Now you may have to watch this video a couple times. Remember, if what you're given is sine, then sine is y over s. And if what you're given is cosine, cosine is x over s. Okay, but that's how you find, if you're given one of the ratios, it's how you can find the other two ratios.